Hi everyone, this is Jim West with Carolina Varsity. I want to talk a little bit about the 4A Central Piedmont Conference. This is going to be a fun conference here, especially if you're at West Forsyth. I think the guys over in Clemens got to be really happy this coming season. They got a lot of seniors coming in, and this is going to be a deep team. It's going to be an experienced team. Be honest with you, I think they are probably a top 10 team, the best team in the triad. I don't think it's even close either. I've got to go with West Forsyth at number one. Number two, this is going to shock some people, but I'm taking Davie County. I like their defense. Their defense is the nucleus of last year's defense is returning. They're going to have to replace a quarterback, and they're going to replace one of their receivers, but I think they will. I think it's going to be a fun year for them also. They had a coaching change during the middle of the season last year that kind of disrupted things, but I think Davie County is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Number three, I'm going with East Forsyth. Their quarterback returns, but they got to replace two of their two leading running backs, and I think their top three receivers from last year, or three of their really good receivers last year. Defense, they're still going to be good on defense, maybe not as good as last year, but I think they're going to slip a little bit. We'll see what happens. The really good coaching staffs, they tend to rise to the occasion, so I'm waiting to see what happens at East Forsyth this coming season. Number four, got to go with Glenn. Coach Stevenson has done a fine job at Glenn. I think he's a guy that we all should show a lot of respect to. He's done to me, he's going to have a season where he's going to have to replace some of his receivers. But I think he's going to rise to the occasion. This is a good coach, good coaching staff. I believe one of their coordinators may have left. I think went to Northwest Guilford, if I remember correctly. So it might be a little bit, might upset the apple cart a little bit, but Glenn is a fine pick for number four. Number five, I got to go with Reagan. They went 3-8 last year. I'd say they're maybe a little bit disappointing last year. Could have done a little bit better. The thing is that I think is they're going to have trouble moving the ball. I think the record might be a little bit better than last year, but this is a tough conference, and I just don't see them doing anything better than sixth place. Number seven, got to go with the Demons over at R.J. Reynolds. I think they're going to have probably a little bit better season than last year, but it's not saying much. I just don't think they have the depth or the talent to compete in this conference with the top three teams. Anyway, this is Jim West with Carolina Varsity, and thank you so much for listening to me.